Activision Blizzard, the gaming giant behind Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Hearthstone, Diablo and Overwatch, are being sued by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing, following a 2-year investigation into the company which found an insidious frat boy culture in which women and minorities were harassed and discriminated against. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. I'm Josh Strife-Hayes. In this video, we're going to examine the allegations brought against gaming giant Activision Blizzard by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing. We'll have a look at Blizzard's official response to the allegations and then several unofficial responses from Activision Blizzard employees, both current and ex. Because this is an extremely serious topic, I've provided all of my sources in the video description below, and I have had to self-censor heavily in order to hit YouTube's advertiser-friendly guidelines. So please, read up on this as much as you can. Don't take all your information from one YouTube video. Because of the nature of the context of this video, it will be far more emotionally poignant than my usual light-hearted stuff, so I'd like to address the serious nature of the allegations immediately. I am not a lawyer. I am, however, a firm believer in the legal process of discovery, investigation, and the spirit of the law in general. Because of this, I'll be presenting what we know, both officially and unofficially, and I'll be labeling each piece of evidence as such. Before we begin, I'd like to offer a big thank you to the supporters on Patreon and Twitch who allow me to remain independent and do what I do. More on this at the end. For now, let's begin. Let's start at the start. Activision Blizzard is a gaming company situated in Irvine, California with roughly 4,700 employees. Blizzard was responsible for creating the popular MMO World of Warcraft, which released back in 2004 and was bought up as a company by Activision in 2008. Over the last year, Activision Blizzard posted a revenue of just over $8 billion, making them one of the most successful gaming companies of all time. Several years ago, the California Government Department of Fair Employment and Housing, which operates as an agency of the state of California, began an investigation into working conditions at Activision Blizzard, Blizzard Entertainment and Activision Publishing. This investigation has resulted in a legal case being drafted against Activision Blizzard, referred to as a Civil Rights and Equal Pay Act complaint for injunctive and monetary relief and damages. On the 20th of July 2021, the Department of Fair Employment and Housing has filed a 29-page legal document detailing the extensive discrimination and harassment of employees at Activision Blizzard, relating to both pay imbalances, hostile working environments, and harassment of lower-level staff. This document is available online, and if you're interested in researching this case, I suggest you go and read it. Now, for an individual to sue another individual, that's one thing. You can bring about a lawsuit against anyone else for almost any reason, and a lawyer or a judge will decide if it's worth continuing with. But for a government agency to launch a multi-year investigation into a private company and conclude it then has enough evidence to file and request a trial by jury, that's an extremely serious position for any company to be in. Now, I will be reading out excerpts from the allegations, but I've had to heavily self-censor myself to hit YouTube's advertiser-friendly guidelines. So I encourage you again, please, go and read the original document. It's available to the public and I've linked it in the video description. This case has been brought into the public eye by a recent and tragic event. An unnamed female employee of Activision Blizzard took her own life while on a business trip with a male colleague. And at the previous Christmas party, naked pictures of the unnamed woman had been shared around the office. If these allegations are true and the tragic events are connected, it paints a stunningly depraved picture of the corporate culture many are describing as frat boy culture, due to the general nature of male dominance and lack of respect and equality inherent in the American frat boy environment. With that truly tragic event being the catalyst for public interest spiking, the case is now front-page news. And before we take a look at the personal anecdotes from employees, let's refer to more sections of the official case document drafted by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing so we can get a general feel for the type of allegations Activision Blizzard are now facing. Page 3, lines 7 through 11. Unlike its customer base of increasingly diverse players, defendant's workforce is only about 20% women. Its top leadership is also exclusively male and white. The CEO and president roles are now and have always been held by white men. Very few women ever reach top roles at the company. The women who do reach higher roles earn less salary, incentive pay, and total compensation than their male peers, as evidenced in defendant's own records. Page 4, lines 7 through 13. Defendants have also fostered a pervasive frat boy workplace culture that continues to thrive. In the office, women are subjected to cube crawls, in which male employees drink copious amounts of alcohol as they crawl their way through various cubicles in the office, and often engage in inappropriate behaviour toward female employees. Male employees proudly come into work hungover, play video games for long periods of time during work while delegating their responsibilities to female employees, and engage in banter about sexual encounters. Page 5, lines 3 through 7. Numerous complaints about unlawful harassment, discrimination and retaliation were made to defendants' human resources personnel and executives, including to Blizzard Entertainment's president J. Allen Brack. But defendants failed to take effective remedial measures in response to these complaints. Employees were further discouraged from complaining as human resource personnel were known to be close to alleged harassers. On page 11, the factual allegations discovered by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing are listed, including page 11, lines 11 through 14. These discriminatory practices began at hire when women were offered lower compensation and less lucrative job assignments and opportunities than their male counterparts. Defendants paid female employees significantly less in starting pay than their male counterparts at hire. This pattern or practice and violations were continuing. Page 12, lines 11 through 16. Similarly, other female employees at Blizzard Entertainment were assigned to lower-level roles, denied equal pay, and further delayed or passed over for promotions in favour of male counterparts who lacked the same experience or qualifications, but who were friends with the male head of the unit. A newly promoted male supervisor delegated his responsibilities to his now female subordinates in favour of playing Call of Duty. Other male supervisors would refuse to communicate with female employees going to their male counterparts for information. Page 13, lines 7 through 12. Women of colour were particularly vulnerable to target of defendants' discriminatory practices. An African-American employee noted that it took her 2 years to be made into a permanent employee, while men hired after her were made permanent employees. She also was micromanaged such that her male co-workers were known to be playing video games without any intervention by her supervisor, but her supervisor would call and check on her if she took a break to go on a walk. Page 14, lines 16 through 20. Female employees almost universally confirmed that working for defendants was akin to working in a frat house, which invariably involved male employees drinking and subjecting female employees to sexual harassment with no repercussion. Cube crawls in defendants' offices were common, and male employees proudly came into work hungover. Similarly, male employees would play video games during work, engage in banter about their sexual encounters, and talk openly about female bodies. This document is 29 pages long, and I read the whole thing. It is a torrent of absolutely sickening allegations against Blizzard and sometimes specific named members of the Blizzard upper management. Now, anecdotal evidence and tweets from current and past Blizzard employees have said that management was well aware of all these situations. They'd been informed by multiple members of staff, and yet they refused to do anything about them. Now that this case is public knowledge, and now it's catching the public eye quite heavily, Blizzard have responded, both officially to the public and through multiple internal emails. And it's those internal emails that have very different tones depending on who sent them. The internal email from Blizzard President J. Allen Brack to staff is one of general denial of the allegations and a reassurance that any member of staff can feel confident in coming forward to talk to him or any of the senior team to discuss any workplace grievances. He also provided a confidential contact phone number to the Way to Play Integrity hotline for any employee who wishes to remain anonymous and talk to a neutral third party. However, many personal anecdotes of Blizzard staff, both current and ex, say that they did speak to a member of management. They did raise their concerns with all of these allegations years before, and nothing was done. Or the people they were concerned about were people in management fully aware of it who did not change. Alongside this, another internal email was sent out from Francis Townsend, a Blizzard executive who between the years of 2004 to 2007 worked as the Homeland Security Advisor to American President George W. Bush and has been with Blizzard since March 2021. Her email reads differently, including the lines, "A recently filed lawsuit presented a distorted and untrue picture of our company, including factually incorrect, old and out of context stories, some from more than a decade ago. When I joined the executive leadership team, I was certain that I was joining a company where I would be valued, treated with respect, and provided opportunities equal to those afforded to the men of the company. For me, this has been true during my time. We review compensation regularly and feel confident that we pay all employees fairly for equal or substantially similar work. We cannot let egregious actions of others and a truly meritless and irresponsible lawsuit damage our culture of respect and equal opportunity. Now, we cannot comment on the truth or the falsehood of anything in either of these emails, but the one that Fran sent did strike a little bit of a chord within me. If the allegations are completely false, then you didn't need to put the "it happened over a decade ago" tag. If it happened over a decade ago and it's false, just claim it's false. If you're saying it happened over a decade ago, you're saying, yeah, it happened, but it was a long time ago, so we don't need to worry about it. There was another thing that really irritated me about Fran's email specifically, and I haven't met her, I don't know her, I can't comment on her as a person, but when she said that she had always been treated with respect, she had always had the opportunities afforded to her, that's because you're the boss. That's because you're an executive. Someone tries to harass you, you just fire them. The power is in your hands. The problem we're seeing is a power imbalance where the regular members of staff or the lower echelons of staff are being harassed by people above them, and they have no power to fight back, no power to defend themselves or their job. If you are relying on your monthly wage to pay your bills, to pay your rent, to buy your food, and your supervisor or your manager or a VP of the company starts to harass you in any way, you have to ask yourself, is it worth fighting back and risk losing my job? You sound incredibly out of touch when you say, oh, you've never been harassed. That's because you have the power to fight back against people who harass you. The issue we're seeing now is the people who don't have the power to fight back are finally speaking up, and it's shocking you. It's amazing to find out that some people can't just fire people who irritate them. So with all of the allegations made, how has the response been from both the regular Blizzard staff and ex-Blizzard staff on social media sites such as Twitter? Well, it's been quite intense. Many employees, both current and past, have come forward to share stories of harassment, discrimination or abuse. Both men and women who were too afraid or isolated to speak out before have now been finding strength and coming forward in droves to condemn the company and reinforce the allegations made by the Californian department. Female employees have been stating the corporate response from Fran does not speak for or represent them, and they feel she is completely out of touch with the average Blizzard employee. Thousands upon thousands of players have been cancelling their Blizzard subscription and deleting the Battle.net launcher, and those players locked into a subscription have been staging protests in-game to voice their disgust at Blizzard. Twitter user Grums, one of the original designers of World of Warcraft back in 2004, has completely removed all reference to Blizzard from his profile and now refers to himself as an expert maker of virtual worlds instead of the original World of Warcraft designer. Now, I can't tell you what you can and can't do with your own time and your own money. I can tell you what I'm doing with mine. I haven't given Blizzard any money since the Blitzchung incident because I don't particularly believe a company that says one thing and then does another are worthy of my money. If you claim to stand up for and believe in a certain principle, and then the moment that you get a chance to prove that principle, you back down in order to make more profit, you're actually proving to me that you don't like the principle. You like the increase in profit claiming to believe in the principle has brought you. If you say that you believe in something, but you aren't willing to lose anything to prove that belief, eventually you have to admit you don't believe in that thing. And what's annoying me the most about this whole situation is the hypocrisy, starting with the flagstone outside Blizzard HQ. Outside Blizzard headquarters is a flagstone with the words "Every voice matters" engraved. The reality has shown us, however, every voice matters as long as you're not questioning the Chinese government, losing us money, or being harassed. The Activision Blizzard site has a page of the company code of conduct, including a whole section on integrity, stating don't sacrifice the right thing for the fast thing or the easy thing. If Blizzard are truly innocent in all of this and the allegations truly are misleading and baseless, they would welcome an inquiry. They would fully support an inquisition to vindicate themselves in the eyes of the public. If the truth would show Blizzard in a position of light and superiority, they would be bending over backwards to help the state of California deeply investigate each and every claim. Because as they themselves like to cry, every voice matters. But if these allegations are true, and the higher-ups at Blizzard have knowingly been complicit in covering up harassment of any nature, or they have engaged in an illegal wage discrimination practice, maybe they won't want that to be revealed. Maybe they'll be a little worried right now. Maybe they'll be wishing they stuck to their own code of conduct a little better. Rich people and executives seem to think the rules and regulations are only for lower wage workers and harassment is fine when they do it because they are untouchable. Blizzard may have a flagstone saying every voice matters, and honestly, they're right. They just weren't listening to them. But those voices are speaking out now, to the state of California, to other staff members and gamers, and to social media, and many people are listening. Every gaming journalist is focusing on Blizzard right now, and if they've been abiding by their own code of conduct, they've got nothing to worry about. If they haven't, well, things are about to get very difficult for the upper management of Activision Blizzard. You can find a link to the official allegation made against Blizzard in the video description. I highly encourage you to read it, do your own research, and form a more complete view of the current situation. Thank you for watching. Thank you again to the supporters on Patreon and Twitch who keep the channel alive. You can support from just £1 per month. Check the video description for links to the Patreon, Twitch, Twitter and Discord. And, as always, have a great day.